You are listening to WMHW HD1 and HD2 Mount Pleasant, Mountain 91.5, a service of Central Michigan University's School of Broadcast and Cinematic Arts. Good afternoon and welcome to Card Guys, episode 18 on a Victory Monday for all of us Detroit Lions fans. I'm Anthony Schulte, joined today by Ryan Donnelly, Doug Mobley, and Michael Rosenkrantz. In 5 minutes, we go over a very controversial college football playoff. 15 minutes, we talk Lions after a big win in the Big Easy. In 25 minutes, we go over the in-season tournament knockouts in the NBA. And in 30 minutes, we go over NFL Week 13. Gentlemen, how are we today?
We're doing great today, boys.
Doing great, Anthony. You know, although it may be finals week, semester is wrapping up, and I don't know about you, but I'm excited for 3 weeks to rest, recharge,
Oh, yeah.
and
Christmas
hang out
time.
with family.
Hope your Monday's going well. Hope your finals is going well. If any of you guys are taking your finals, who knows? But we got lots to talk about. I'm not really happy about this Michigan college football playoff, just who they're playing. But we'll talk more about that later. But you got something to talk about our Detroit Pistons.
His Detroit Pistons.
Well, it's now turning into his Detroit Pistons because I'm losing faith, and he's
going to
be.
Faith.
Raise your hand if you are still a Pistons fan. My hand is slowly raising.
My hand raised up immediately.
My dad sent me a text earlier today. It was like, "What two sports teams are your favorites?" I was like, "Lions," and I don't even know anymore.
Tigers.
It's going to
Red
slowly
Wings.
turn into the Wings or the Tigers now, but I'm losing faith in the Pistons. But you can elaborate more about that because they're your team.
You're losing faith, but I'm still going to watch every single game multiple times because I'm a sick individual. The Pistons are continuing their losing ways. I don't know how else to say it. We have to cover it because it is the talk of the town. The Pistons, 17 straight losses, 2-18 on the young season, just a quarter into the season. And the Pistons, it looks bleak, to say the least. A game against the Cavaliers in which you dominated the first quarter. You dominated parts of the second quarter. Then you start to lose it a little bit, but you're still in the game. 2 minutes left, you're still in the game, keeping it close. And you just lose it. You just lose it. And I don't know what it is about this team in closing out games, but they just can't do it. Cade had a great performance, 11 assists off 1 turnover. Just an incredible performance from Cade. I watched the game, but very on-off because we were setting up a broadcast that night. But I was watching the game, and I just remember I was so happy with that first quarter, shooting 61%. And how we lost all that momentum, and we let them come back, inch back. But then we'd throw a couple punches, and we'd go on a roll. Bojan Bogdanovic coming back and having, 21, 22 points in 28 minutes?
I'm pretty sure he had 22 points off the bench, which that's pretty good.
Yes,
Off the bench
22
in
points,
28
2 assists,
minutes.
2 rebounds.
Just incredible from Bogey. His first shot was a netter from downtown. Just happy to see Bojan back. We all knew that Bojan would help this team in a big way. And I think going into Wednesday, look, you had Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off, 3 days off. And we have a game Wednesday against the 5-13 Memphis Grizzlies. This is when the losing streak ends, folks. I've been saying it a lot. We have a chance. No, I'm confident. That Cavs team is miles better than the Grizzlies team, and we kept them close. And, heck, we were winning for most of that game. The Grizzlies, they don't have much. They have Bane and they have Jaren Jackson, but Jaren Jackson gets guarded by Duren. We put Osser on Bane, and we'll be good. I think the Pistons win this game against the Memphis Grizzlies, and they end this 17-game losing streak right where it is. And honestly, I could see Bojan helping turn this team around. They said that the front office isn't looking at making any changes. So they're looking at keeping the roster the way it is, and they want to see if this thing can gel. And what I say to that is, okay, let's see. Can we beat the Grizzlies? If we lose to the Grizzlies and make it 18 straight, I don't even think putting Steph Curry on this team would help. I don't think putting Giannis on this team would help. But never fear, the San Antonio Spurs are here because they are just equally as bad, but you won't hear about it because of Wemby, which is kind of funny because they're on a 13 game losing streak right now, just 4 off from us, but we're getting all the craze.
It's pretty bad.
Once we win our game on Wednesday, we'll be all good. But the Spurs, they're struggling this year. The Wizards, they're struggling this year. There's a lot of teams right now that have 2 or 3 wins, and that's it. 2, 3, 4, 5 wins, and that's it. And the Pistons, I did the math here. If they go on a 4 to 5 game winning streak and at least 1 or 2 teams lose a couple games in a row in the East, the Pistons shoot up to the 10th overall spot. So there is still hope. There is still hope for this Detroit Pistons team. The season's young. If Boyan could come in and we could just start playing our behinds off, that would be great. But my 5 minutes are up. We're going to send it now to the college football playoff. Enough about that sad Pistons talk. We're going to talk Michigan football. First time being number 1 since what? 1997.
1997.
When we won the championship.
When
Michigan
we
won
tied
the championship
with Nebraska.
When we won the championship back in 97, controversy in the college football playoff, however, with Florida State being left out of the 4-team college football playoff pool and Alabama making it in as the number 4 seed. Gentlemen, I want to know what you guys are thinking about this. I know, Ryan, you have some strong thoughts about this and how you think Michigan got screwed on this.
I really do think Michigan got screwed. And I think Michigan got screwed. I really think Florida State got screwed. When you're 13-0, and I understand that Jordan Travis is hurt and is probably done for the rest of his life playing football unless he gets drafted somehow. I mean, he tore his ACL, so I don't...
Hey, Aaron Rodgers is coming back.
Yeah, that's true. But
Hendon Hooker.
He had dolphin urine and, like, magical crystals, but...
Although they did say Aaron Rodgers probably won't play for the rest of the season. So
Jordan Travis is this year's Hendon Hooker.
I agree, yeah. But you're 13-0. You win the ACC championship. You beat your rival without your starting quarterback. You have a great defense. You have Keon Coleman, who, besides a non-quarterback, probably could win the Heisman this year. I don't understand how Alabama made it over because they beat Georgia.
I do.
Why?
One, it's the SEC championship. They won the SEC championship,
the
hardest division in the entire country, the best division in the entire country. They will never leave out the SEC championship from the Final Four.
They'll never leave out the SEC.
Happen. It will happen next year because they're expanding the playoffs. So you will see teams like Florida State be able to get that chance to come back and prove everybody wrong, even without a starting quarterback. But you can't leave out the SEC from the top 4, just like you can't leave out the Big Ten. Those are the 2 biggest divisions in college football.
That's the only reason why Alabama made it.
That's the only reason. And probably because they beat Georgia, who was the 1 seed. That's the only reason.
I told y'all on this program multiple times, Georgia is a fraud. I told y'all they never deserve the number 1 seed. Who have they really beat? Their one test is going to be against Alabama. And guess what happened, folks?
They lost.
I told y'all that Georgia was a fraud. And here we are. My thing with Florida State, though, is they have the same argument as Cincinnati had back a couple years ago. They're undefeated. If Cincinnati makes it undefeated in their conference that they were in back then, why is Florida State not making it this year? I don't like the fact that, you have to include the SEC. While that's the reason, and that's why Alabama made it, I think it should be the 4 best teams in the country.
Exactly. It should be Michigan, yes, Florida State, Washington, and Texas. Like, Florida State got dipped from the playoffs, and now they're going to be playing who? Who are they playing? I forgot. I don't even know.
Georgia.
They're playing Georgia in the Orange Bowl down in Florida. That number 4 spot should go to Florida State, although because they lost their quarterback and lost a meaningless ACC championship game, they won
the championship game.
I said they won.
Oh, I thought you said they lost.
No, I said they won. But why? Just because you have to include an SEC team in the college football playoffs doesn't makes me so frustrated. And the last time Michigan played Alabama was in 2020 in the Citrus Bowl, a New Year's Six Bowl, and we got our butts handed to because Shea Patterson doesn't know how to throw a football.
I would have kicked out Texas, to be honest, for Florida State, because Texas lost the game this year.
That's true.
But who'd they lose to? Oklahoma?
Yeah, I
In
think
the
so.
Cotton Bowl? Oklahoma, they're a good football team.
Well,
I
yeah,
think Texas
all the
deserves
teams
it.
in the South are good football teams
Yeah.
for the most part. I mean, yes, Florida State should be in the playoffs, but I think this is probably one of the most evenly matched playoff schedules I've seen in a long time. Because the last 2 years, it's just be like Georgia's going to walk through them, and the last 10 years before that, it's just like Alabama's going to walk through all the teams. I think we're finally going to have two good games. Texas-Washington's going to be really high scoring because neither of the teams have a defense. And Michigan is going to put up a fight against Bama, and I think they have a chance to win for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, this is, first of all, extremely unfortunate for Florida State. And I have a statement right here, pre-ESPN, a statement from their head coach, Mike Norville. I am disgusted and infuriated with the committee's decision today to have what was earned on the field taken away because a small group of people decided they knew better than the results of the game. What is the point of playing games? Do you tell players it is okay to quit if someone goes down? Do you not play a senior on senior day for fear of injury? Where is the motivation to schedule challenging non-conference games? We are not only an undefeated Power 5 conference champion, but we also played 2 Power 5 non-conference games away from home and won both of them. I don't understand how we are supposed to think this is an acceptable way to evaluate a team. What happened today goes against everything that is true and right in college football, end quote.
I
In
couldn't agree
addition,
with that more.
And this is why I'm happy that we're having a 12-team playoff next year, because that means...
Yup.
What's that?
I said, yup.
And just that means every good team that has proven themselves this year gets to make the playoffs. The
They have
12
a
best
shot.
teams, they have a shot at the national championship instead of the 4 teams that these doohickeys think that are going to do good in the playoffs. Bama, are they a good team? Absolutely. Yeah, they beat the back-to-back national championship Georgia, and now they're going to play Florida State in the meaningless Orange Bowl.
With four teams, it feels like only 10% of college football teams have a chance to do anything meaningful in a season. With the 12 team, that means like if you're ranked like 20 or 18 or 15, you have a shot depending on where you are and your record and who you beat, whatever. You have a bigger shot now than just the top 4 teams. Top 4 teams basically means everybody else's season is invalidated. And what are they playing for? A bowl? Oregon, even though Oregon lost to Washington, I still think Oregon should have a shot at the national championship. Oregon has 1 loss, and it was to undefeated. Wait, they have 2 losses, don't they? Now they have 2 losses,
I think
right?
they have 2.
Yeah, because they lost to Washington in the
Regular season?
in the championship. They lost to whomever in the championship of whatever, right?
Let me look this up.
they lost to Washington on Friday, 34-31.
Yeah,
and then they lost
the Big 12 championship.
And they did lose to Washington on October 14th, 36-33.
Yeah, they lost to Washington.
So they lost to Washington twice.
twice.
Who's to say that Oregon just deserves to get ousted right away? Now in the 12 team, Oregon's in, and they have a chance to play for the college football championship. That's why the 12 team is just be so good. I can't wait for the 12 team.
I have one more thing to say. Not about the playoffs, but about the New Year's Six. 3 of these are going to be really good games. You got Missouri versus Ohio State.
That's going to be fun.
Down at the Cotton Bowl. That's going to be a great game. You got the Peach Bowl. You got Ole Miss and Penn State. That's going to be a great game.
And then you got
You got the Orange Bowl with Georgia and Florida State. That's going to be an incredible game. And then you got the Fiesta Bowl with number 23, Liberty University, playing number 8, Oregon, who is going to put 56 on them in a national televised bowl game.
Oregon is favored -48 against Liberty.
Oh,
but
boy.
if there are 3 teams besides CMU and Michigan that I could root for into the college, the 3 teams I've had all my life that I could root for, my entire 19 years of life, is Liberty, Texas A&M, and Arizona State. And I'm happy that one of those teams is doing really well, and that is Liberty, and I'm so happy for them, and I'm rooting for them. I have a hoodie I have a Liberty University hoodie. I have friends that go to Liberty University. I'm so happy for Liberty University. That's what I have about Liberty.
Man, I'm just sad Tennessee isn't like better. Tennessee's been one of my teams for a while.
Tennessee, what were they? Were they even ranked this year?
They were ranked for a while.
They were ranked up there in the beginning of the year.
And
And
they
then
lost to
turned
Bama?
into like
And then
the
they
20,
lost to Bama,
number
and then they
24.
fell off a cliff. Last year they were really good, but now they're playing in the
Hendon
Citrus Bowl.
Hooker.
Yeah.
And just one final thing to add about this. As a Michigan fan, do I think that we have a chance against Alabama? Yes.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
The thing that makes me worried is exactly what happened when Alabama played Auburn. Nick Saban is a genius play caller, and the thing about Auburn, they bent, broke down, and folded under pressure. You cannot give Jalen Milroe that much time in the pocket. He is going to find his receivers, Isaiah Bond, Jermaine Burton, and everybody else. So if you're Michigan, take note of that. You cannot give Jalen Milroe that much time in the pocket. And just one more thing in general. I think what happened to Florida State and states a clear message about this committee. And the sad thing is, it's probably never going to change with the committee, but Florida State got outright snubbed. And I don't think it's even a question. ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips added, quote, "It's unfathomable." Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that was definitely a big surprise.
With what you said about, the Auburn game, if Alabama plays the way they played against Auburn, Michigan is going to win the game. Because Michigan is not a team, especially that defense, that's going to fold under pressure like Auburn's is. Auburn is a 6-6 football team. And Alabama barely left the Iron Bowl with a win. So, that being said, I think Michigan does have a very good shot. But another Michigan team that's winning is the Detroit Lions. The Lions escaped the Big Easy with a big win yesterday against the New Orleans Saints, 33-28. The Lions, they got off to a hot start, 21-0 in that first quarter. And then they kind of just let the Saints win the rest of the quarters and come back. The quarter outlook, 21-0 in the first quarter for the Lions. And it was 7-3 in the second quarter, 14-3 in the third, and 7-6 in the fourth, all in favor of the Saints. But the Lions, they're lucky they got off to a hot start in yesterday's game, because if they play the way they played the second, third, and fourth, and they didn't have that first, they're not winning that game, which is a little bit worrying, but we'll take it. A win is a win is a win is a win. Mm-hmm. A win is a win. And you have your next coming up schedule is the Bears.
Winnable.
Yeah. The
Broncos.
Winnable. It's a winnable game. The Broncos are a winnable game. They have their Cinderella run. Broncos are a winnable game. Then you have Vikings on the road, which I don't know. I think we split against the Vikings, and especially because when we play the Vikings, Jefferson will be back.
Yes.
So I think we're going to lose to the Vikings on the road,
especially on Christmas Eve too.
Minnesota is a tough place to play. So Merry Christmas. There's a loss. The Cowboys, that's going to be a game right there. That's going to be game. That's going to be a game. That is that a Sunday night football game?
Probably.
Yes, it is. That is Sunday night football. Yes. 8:15 start.
Why does it have to be at AT&T? For the past couple games that they've played at, it was at AT&T.
What day is December 30th?
December 30th.
That's
is
a Saturday night.
Saturday night.
So it's a Saturday. We have Saturday night football
because New Year's Eve is on a Sunday.
Yeah. So we have Saturday night football against the Cowboys. We have Saturday night football against the Broncos, and then we don't know what Vikings Lions is going to be on that final game of the year. Where I could see the Lions with their remaining schedule. You lose 2 more games and you're 12-5.
We have double digits to our name.
12-5 is a very good record in the NFL. 12-5 after going 9-8, after starting 1-6 last season. If in week 7, after we went 1-6, you would have told me last year that the Lions would be 12-5 the next year, I would have laughed in your face. But here we are. I think the Vikings is a loss. I think the Cowboys is a loss. But I think the Vikings at home is a win. Broncos at home is a win, and Bears on the road is a win. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised seeing the Lions upset the Cowboys on the road.
I'd love
Saturday
to see
Night
that.
Football. I think there is a world where the Lions win all 5 of their remaining games.
Oh, I could see that, and I would love
There's a
that.
world.
I just
14-3?
find it super tough with the Cowboys.
It's
That's
super-
really the only game I'm looking
It's
at.
super
to be
tough with
honest
the
you.
Cowboys and the Vikings.
Yeah.
But, I mean, 14-3 is possible. I think 12-5 is realistic, but 14-3 is possible.
Like after that Ravens game, I was like, oh, we have an easy schedule. And then the Bears got hot, kind of. The Broncos had their Cinderella run. Josh Dobbs had his Cinderella run. And then the Cowboys had
Cowboys.
The Cowboys did the Cowboys. And I feel like these runs are over for all teams. And I feel like this helps the Lions a lot because this could get them to 14-3. But will I think it'll happen? No. We always do really bad on holidays. Last year on Christmas Eve, we lost to the Panthers, played like garbage, and then this past Thanksgiving, we lost to the Packers, who they did beat the Chiefs yesterday. We'll talk about more about that later in the picks, but I feel like that Packers win yesterday made that Lions loss look a little better, I feel like. But anyways, that's besides the point. Just these teams are cooling down, and I feel like that's going to help the Lions a lot because, you look at the Bears, who are like, oh, no, we have the Lions next week, who are at top of the division and third in the NFC. Let's prepare the crap out of this team and then just underperform the next game, and then Eberflus will be fired. The only game I'm really scared about is the Christmas Eve Vikings game and the Cowboys Saturday night game. Especially that Cowboys team. And I know this Cowboys team. They're scary. Dak is in the MVP race. Micah Parsons looks like
Micah Parsons.
not Micah
CeeDee
Parsons.
Lamb, Tony Pollard.
Pollard has looked great, which helps me in fantasy a
CeeDee
lot.
Lamb. Aren't they undefeated when, oh my goodness, Brandon Cooks scores a touchdown?
Yep.
Yes.
So cover Brandon Cooks, Aaron Glenn. Play that wonderful zone defense. I'm kidding. Fire Aaron Glenn. But just this Lions team has looked hot at times, and then they slow down, and then we close out the game. Let's keep playing like that.
Yeah.
And then when we make the playoffs and we play hopefully the Rams or like the Vikings, we learn how to actually win at the right time instead of being really hot and then cooling down, and then we just close it out. Because that's what we've been doing for the past few weeks.
This Lions team needs to work on. That defense yesterday played great.
Yes.
They played
If it wasn't for that
wonderful.
fumble and if it wasn't for that Brian Branch pick, we'd probably lose.
And honestly, there should have been another pick, but Brian Branch tipped the ball. If you're the offense, this is one of the only games this year where I'm saying only after the first quarter, the offense looked miserable. The offense looked absolutely miserable after the first quarter. And I think your job as the offense, when your defense is playing as well as our defense played yesterday for the most part, you need to keep them off the field. You don't want them to get too tired. You saw them get too tired, and all of a sudden everybody's wide open because we're very tired on the field because we keep three and out for the offense, and the defense has to trot right back onto the field. I think the offense has to do a better job of, keep that ball. Time of possession is crucial for your defense. If we played the way we played in the first quarter, the whole game, taking care of the ball, scoring on drives, keeping the defense off the field, that game probably would have been a 42-6 blowout. Instead, it was 33-28. But nonetheless, the Lions do pick up a win.
A win is a win.
Win is a win.
A win is a win, and we're still on top of the NFC North.
Oh, yeah.
Just this Vikings, if Josh
Vikings
Dobbs
and
heats
Packers
up,
scare me.
they kind of scare me a little bit, but Dobbs had his Jeremy Lin run, so I'm not really worried at all.
I just want to say one quick thing about the Wings. We're 13-7 now, and the only reason we're not 14-6 is because we lost by 1 to the 18-4 Rangers.
Yep.
We are a good hockey team, boys.
We are.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me so happy. We're 8-3 at home. I can't wait to go see a game.
Me and Ryan attended one of the 3 losses.
Yes, we did. It was a horrible
your
loss.
guys' fault.
But to be fair, Winnipeg's goalie is one of the top in the league.
Oh, yeah, he's insane.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd imagine just the one goal made me happy.
Wingers got the Sabres tomorrow at 7:30.
And Patrick Kane is making his debut.
Oh, yeah.
That he is. That he is. I'm excited to see some Patrick Kane.
I am skipping everything tomorrow and going to watch the Red Wings tomorrow. I want to watch Patrick Kane's debut. He's one of my
What do you have
childhood
going
heroes.
on a Tuesday night? Exactly.
I don't know.
I have a Tuesday night class, unfortunately, but I think I will be out just about 7:30.
There it is.
So trust, I'm putting on the Red Wings as soon as I get out, and I'm just watching the Red Wings. And how about Jake Wallman hitting another gritty with his slap shot?
I love the wall.
Did you see
love the wall.
Did you see the Montreal fans giving him the bird?
Yeah.
It was hysterical. But what a shot from Jake Wallman. And
Jake Wallman, I mean, this Red Wings team, they're playing together. This is one of the best groups I've watched. This is such a fun group, this Red Wings group.
Yeah, they're clicking, too.
They're clicking.
You got DeBrincat and Larkin on 23 and 22 points, which is good. Like, you got 2 players over 20 points already, and you're not even 30 games into the season yet. And then you got Comfer, Raymond, and Gostisbehere. I probably pronounced his name wrong.
Gostisbehere.
But they're at 19, 19, and 18. You almost have 5 guys over 20 points, and you're barely 25 games into the season.
And Patrick Kane, his last season he played with the Rangers, he had 56 points.
Yeah,
total.
Patrick Kane is going to add to that total. This is going to be a good season.
It's going to be a good season. Red Wings hopefully will finally make the playoffs.
Yeah, 7-year drought, hopefully over.
Hopefully that 7-year drought's over. And hopefully the Pistons can rewrite their woes and make a little run at something. But speaking of basketball, NBA, the first ever in-season tournament knockout rounds start tonight. 7:30, Celtics visit the Pacers, the 2 winners of their respective brackets, their groups. The Pacers won the Pistons group, and the Celtics won, I'm pretty sure that's Group B that the Celtics won. And then after that, 10 o'clock p.m., the Pelicans and the Kings square off. That should be a fun one as well. 2 young teams going at it there. And then tomorrow, Knicks and Bucks, 7:30 tip-off time in Milwaukee. And then at 10 o'clock, Suns and Lakers, they square off in what's going to be a fun one right there between the Suns and the Lakers. I want to get your guys' opinions on just what you guys think of the in-season tournament so far, how it's been implemented, what you guys like, what you guys don't like, because I'll be honest, I love the in-season tournament and what it's brought to the regular season.
I think it's a really good concept. It brought, it's definitely something that they're trying to do for marketing. Like, that's pretty obvious with the jerseys and the boards. But it worked. It brought viewership to the down months, where a lot of people aren't paying attention to the NBA, and not to mention you got to see some teams kind of spotlight themselves as, hey, maybe we can make a shot in the long run. And I honestly think these 8 teams that we're looking at here are all going to end up as the top 8 in the playoffs. I think that's pretty fair to say. What do you guys think?
I do agree with you, but again, great marketing. I was just never a fan of it. It just the NBA has always been really good at marketing, and just the way the players have responded to it. I mean, the Celtics, when Jason Tatum basically argued about the point differential rule in the in-season tournament, when they just been disrespectful all year, it just makes no sense. I mean, I'm starting to like it. It's going to grow. I think it'll grow on me in the next couple of years if they keep doing this, but it's confusing. It's just weird, and just the courts are gross and just...
Yeah, those are terrible.
They're awful. Detroit's are nice. I'll give them that. But I'm not really a big fan of this tournament.
I think what they got to do, one thing they got to do, they got to stop calling it the in-season tournament. They just got to call it the NBA Cup.
Exactly.
Because it is the NBA Cup that they're playing for.
They're playing for the NBA Cup.
Just call it the NBA Cup. Don't call it the NBA in-season tournament. Because I think for the first season it's fine because you want people to identify what it is. It's an in-season tournament. But from here on out, I think they should be just the NBA Cup. We have NBA Cup action, not NBA in-season tournament action. But
it sounds better too.
It does sound a lot better.
I think you can write a petition to Commissioner Silver on that name change, don't you think, Anthony?
He'll get a
you know what?
ChatGPT
I'll do it.
answer back.
Probably.
No, I think this in-season tournament, though, marketing is 100% a factor. I also think it makes the league, in a way, more competitive, especially if you have new viewers that may not be a fan of basketball or don't watch basketball regularly. This could be an incentive to draw their eyes in.
Right, it's something people are playing for.
Exactly.
Implications.
I do like the added measure of, competition, especially with these top teams potentially facing each other in the playoffs. It's a preview to get to know these teams throughout the season, how they play, what plays they run, and just being able to hopefully retain that information as you go forward to try and get an advantage in the actual postseason later in 2024.
Off topic about this tournament, but I'm just looking at the stat leaders right now. Steph Curry is on one.
Greatest point guard of all time.
He is over 1 3-pointer average over second place. He's at 5.1, and Tyrese Halliburton's at 3.9 average 3-pointers made per game. That's nuts. And Curry's what, 36?
35,
He's up
36, there. Yeah. Curry is the greatest point guard of all time, easily, in my opinion. He's been just on one, as you said, this season. And
so is Embiid, too.
He doesn't show any signs of slowing down. I do not like Joel Embiid.
I know you don't like him, but I think he's
on
on
a
another
foul merchant.
I think he's on another MVP candidates run.
It's Nikola Jokic. I saw something here. Let me pull it up.
It's. I mean, Jokic is third in assists, first in rebounds.
There's a stat that I saw.
Leaders.
It was on my Twitter. It was about Nikola Jokic. Let me see if I can go back to it here.
I just want Luka to win an MVP at some point, please.
They just released all of the new trophies and stuff.
Also,
the in-season tournament too.
Who would have guessed that Wemby at 7'6" or whatever he is would be up in the top 5 in blocks per game?
I mean, I can see it.
I can see it.
Wemby is just. He doesn't contribute to winning, obviously, but
hey, my boy Shea is leading the league in steals per game, though, so that's pretty sick. Mr. Canada himself.
Trying to find the stat that I saw on Jokic. Basically, yeah, here it is. Jokic is first in points, first in rebounds, and first in assists this season.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have breaking news coming from the NFL. Kenny Pickett has surgery for high ankle sprain. Mitch Trubisky is starting on Thursday against the Patriots.
Interesting. Yeah, no, Anthony, it's definitely going to be Jokic, but you have no idea how bad I want Luka to win. He's second in points per game right now, 5th in assists per game, and 3rd in 3-pointers made per game.
Yeah, but if the Nuggets can make that 1 seed,
again,
I don't see Jokic not. The only reason why Jokic didn't win it last year is because they didn't want someone to three-peat it without a championship. He's like, okay, hold my horse. Let me go win a championship. And he did. So it's going to be fun. The in-season tournament's fun. I have to write an essay tomorrow, and I have to do some work tonight for another class. And I'm looking at these in-season tournament games, and I'm like, oh, man, it's going to be hard to stay focused when all this basketball's on. But it's going to be fun nonetheless. In-season tournament. Knockouts. And then we also have some of the bottom feeder teams that didn't make anything. They get their games later in the week, Wednesday and Friday. But we are going to move on to NFL Week 13. We're going to go over our picks, go over these games, and see how we did. I went 10-2, and if it wasn't for the Steelers getting upset and the Chiefs getting upset, I would have been undefeated. But a good week for me, at least. I'm 84-44 since we started this whole thing. I'm doing pretty well for myself.
Yeah, I went 8-4 this week. I just keep dropping, but I'm still at 88%, so I'm not too bad. Me trying to be different, I picked the Eagles. That was a mistake. The Steelers suck, so Yeah, that and then whatever happened to the Poverty Chiefs, that kind of ruined my entire week.
I went 9-3 this week. 79-49 on the year. I'm 63% winning percentage, and I'm ranked 443rd, 330. I don't understand. How did I do better than you? But well, to be fair, you've been doing this all year, and I've been doing this for like the past 2 months.
Yeah, I went 10-2 this period as well. I started a little later, especially I think I started on the show with you guys.
Yeah.
So my win and loss record is going to be much smaller, but I'm 31-12 right now, 49.4 winning percentage, and I'm ranked 608,567.
Nice. All right, so we have our first game of the week was the Cowboys and the Seahawks. Cowboys taking home the dub 41-35 on Thursday Night Football.
Shocker.
Yeah.
It was a high-scoring, entertaining game.
Thank you,
It
Tony
was.
Pollard, for going off on my fantasy team.
And then we have
you.
the exact opposite. Chargers-Patriots.
Oh,
6-0.
What an
Hey, at least we picked the right team.
It
What
was a
an
hockey
ugly
score in
game.
the NFL.
What is going on?
We all
with the
picked the right
Chargers?
team, but that was probably one of the most ugly games I've watched.
Yeah, nobody watched. Not even fans of those teams.
The
watched that.
fact that the Pats get prime time next.
Ugh.
Oh, geez.
They didn't even use Mac Jones or any player. They used Bill
used Zappy.
Belichick. No, they used Bill Belichick on the Thursday night promo.
on that graphic. But
Yeah.
this game was just ugly.
It was ugly.
These teams both are terrible.
It's yeah. Eckler didn't do much. Allen didn't do much. Just 6 points for what's supposed to be a high-scoring Chargers offense.
Yeah.
That was just a garbage shoot. Dolphins Commanders 45-15 commanding win for the Dolphins. Get it?
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I
A-Chain
appreciate
is
I
back,
appreciate the
baby.
attempted humor.
There it is.
Anthony.
A-Chain's back, and I love
A-Chain's back. Tyreek Hill is a freak of nature, and Jalen Waddle. He had a solid day.
The most complete team in the NFL.
Most complete team in the NFL, I'd have to agree. Texans, Broncos, Texans, despite some injury scares with Tank Dell, who has a fractured fibula, and C.J. Stroud, who did come back into the game, they pull off the win against the red-hot Denver Broncos, moving the Texans to a respectable 7-5 record after an impressive draft. Pick the Texans. Happy with that pick.
I'm very
Didn't
happy
feed
with
into the
that.
Broncos hype.
Last minute pick from I don't remember who it was, but Wilson threw a pick in the end zone. Does that remind you of anything?
It sure
line.
does, Ryan, but, it's...
Malcolm Butler.
Russell Wilson
Yep.
threw a pick in the end zone.
Yep. You
Yeah,
have
on the
Skittles in the backfield, and you're not just going to hand it to him?
No.
it. Yeah.
Or
I
you had
picked-
Samaje Perine.
I picked the Texans. Tank Dell being hurt. Obviously, I'm sad because I think he's really good and he's on my fantasy team. But prayers up for him that he has a fast recovery, man.
Yeah. Especially if the Texans can somehow make the playoffs. He can
Yeah.
come back just in time for that. Colts, Titans, 31-28. Nail-biter towards the end. Derrick Henry had 2 touchdowns that contest. He's being evaluated for a concussion. However, the Colts pull off a late-game win in Tennessee.
Yeah.
The
Give me them
Lions
Colts.
and Saints, 33-28. We've discussed the Lions, I think, plenty this episode. Lions barely winning that game against the Saints. Falcons and Jets, I picked the Falcons. Another low-scoring game, 13-8 final score.
What an ugly last possession that was by Trevor Siemian. That was terrible.
Agreed.
You have Garrett Wilson running around out there. You can't put the ball in the breadbasket for him.
It's all on Hackett, and that's all on just really bad luck when it comes to just your quarterback.
Yeah, I
'Cause
think Aaron Rodgers would be dumb to come back to this team.
No.
And really quickly, may I mention about the Falcons? I just showed Ryan this not too long ago. There is a new leader in overall field goal percentage, and that's Big Shoe Koo.
Big Shoe
Young Wei
Koo.
Koo at 90.12%. Leads Justin Tucker at 89.93%.
Wow. That's a race right there to keep an eye on.
That
Big
is a
Shoe
race
Koo.
That is a race right there to keep an eye on. I love both of these kickers, but it's pretty much, regardless, Justin Tucker obviously going to make the Hall of Fame, no doubt about it.
Yeah. Didn't he win a championship back in 2012, I think it was, with the Ravens? Justin Tucker.
I think he did, yes.
Was he?
Was he on that team?
I don't know.
It would make sense if he was. We move on to the Panthers and Buccaneers. The Panthers, the first team to be eliminated from playoff contention this season at 1-11 after a loss.
Oh my gosh!
To the Buccaneers.
Wow. Yep, he won a Super Bowl in his rookie year, and he's 5-time All-Pro.
There it is.
First team, 3-time All-Pro,
that's a
second
Hall of
team,
Famer.
6-time Pro Bowl,
Hall of Famer,
and an NFL 2010s All-Decade team.
He's getting a bust out
With
there.
with the
No
NFL
doubt
with
that
the
Justin
NFL
Tucker's
record.
getting a bronze bust in Canton,
longest
Ohio.
touchdown.
No doubt.
Longest field goal.
Yep, that's what I meant.
He's definitely reaching the Hall of Fame. Buccaneers, Panthers.
Easily.
Panthers, first team eliminated from playoff contention, 1-11. They lost 21-18.
Bye-bye.
Mike Evans, historic day. His 10th straight season with 1,000-plus receiving yards is just behind Jerry Rice with most consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. He had a touchdown against the Panthers. Buccaneers take it 21-18. And then the Anthony Schulte upset of the week, ladies and gentlemen.
Womp.
We are rolling. 36-19, the Rams upset the Browns.
Oh wait, you
Yeah,
won.
the Rams upset
Yeah.
me too.
Rams upset the Browns. I said, hey, this is the Anthony Schulte upset of the week. I have faith in it. And the Rams, Matthew Stafford looking like
Don't talk
vintage
about him.
Matthew Stafford last night. It was 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdown day for the boy.
I don't care. Move next matchup, please.
Next matchup, all right, if you insist. Another loss for you as well, as the 49ers absolutely demolish the Philadelphia Eagles.
And I'm
42-19.
pretty sure this was the Ryan Donnelly upset of the week.
Ryan, that's barely an upset.
I
Shut
don't
up.
care.
Ryan, 3%
I
is
don't
not an
care.
upset.
I don't
3%
care.
is not an upset. Ryan, you're a Cowboys fan. Your
I don't
opinion
care.
does
I don't
not
care.
matter.
I'm a Lions fan.
You're a
I'm a Lions
Cowboys
fan.
fan. Your opinion is invalid.
I hate the Niners, but
The 49ers.
Yeah, because you're a Cowboys fan.
Deebo Samuel had a great game.
Yeah, it's about time.
3 touchdowns for the boy. I played him in fantasy, and he kind of ruined my chances. And then, me personally, I have 2 straight losses. The Steelers
Yeah.
get upset
Bye-bye.
by the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Nobody saw that
Cardinals
coming.
are back.
24-10.
Cardinals are
McBride is
back. Trey McBride is the best tight end since Sam Laporta. Like, bye-bye. Steelers are done. Their playoff chances are over.
Oh, yeah. And Chiefs
Yeah,
get
we don't need
upset
to
by
talk
the
about that
Packers, too. The Packers keep it rolling. They're someone to watch out for right now.
Yeah, those
Those
sneaky
Green Bay
wild cards,
Packers.
but
And you know what? Lions play the Packers in the wild card. That would be fun.
yeah, we'd probably lose.
I don't know. And then tonight, I have the Jaguars
The Jags.
I also have the Jags.
over the
7 points.
Bengals. I need Trevor Lawrence to go off
I need
tonight.
Christian Kirk to go off. I will say one more thing to anybody interested, especially you three. ESPN just released the Capital One Bowl Mania, where you can pick the winner of every single bowl game.
Really?
Really?
Something fun. It would take a long time to go over the entire list because it is 43 games.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But, hey,
Christmas special.
if you want to do that next week, we can.
I think, our season finale is slated for Monday, next Monday, a week from today. I don't mind having a longer episode and doing the Bowl Mania during the final episode.
Yeah.
If y'all are game for that,
Sure.
I'm down.
that would be fun. So we'll do a little bit of Bowl Mania. 1 week from today is our season finale. But for today, that's all we have for the show. Thank you for tuning in to Card Guys, episode 18 on 91.5 The Mountain, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. Join us Wednesday as we inch closer to that aforementioned season finale. For my good buddies, Ryan Donnelly, Doug Mobley, and Michael Rosencrantz, I'm Anthony Schulte saying have a good one. So long, everybody.
Love you, Mom and
See you,
Dad.
boys.
It's official. I'm coming home December 12th.